A 911 call was placed on October 7, 2020 for a 23-year-old Indigenous woman with a self-inflicted stab wound to the neck. Firefighters and paramedics arrived on scene. One paramedic proceeded to treat the woman. According to the report, 2 firefighters refused to help the paramedic. One firefighter referred to the call as, quote, just another call in the North End. The paramedic filed a complaint under the Respectful Workplace Administrative Standard about the firefighter's conduct. The report, conducted by Laurel Harris of Equitable Solutions Consulting, which APTN obtained a copy of, found, quote, the patient's social standing, race, indigeneity as the likely subject of implicit bias that affected the conduct of some members that night. The paramedic describes the conduct of one of the firefighters as causing delay in transporting the patient to hospital, compromising the patient's safety. Manitoba Métis President David Chartrand and Assembly of Manitoba Chiefs Grand Chief Arlen Dumas both believe the firefighters involved should be fired. Now, as well as Manitoba Liberal leader Dougald Lamont, who in a statement says, changing culture should mean if a first responder thinks they get to pick and choose who to help, they have no business working as a first responder. Now, despite the calls for the firefighters' dismissal, Winnipeg Fire Paramedic Service Chief John Lane cannot say whether or not those involved will be terminated.
The disciplinary process is ongoing, and that process will involve dialogue with unions. The actual outcomes for individuals are considered to be private human resource matters and will not be discussed publicly.
Winnipeg Mayor Brian Bowman acknowledged that the city has a problem with racism.
Systemic racism we know exists within all levels of government and within every department of those governments.
As for how the city is addressing these issues, Bowman said the city has numerous initiatives in place, such as the creation and support of the Indigenous Accord and mandatory reconciliation training for all city staff. Lane says frontline workers will be required to complete anti-racism and diversity training.
More than 200 WFPS frontline leaders will be required to participate in anti-racism and diversity training. This is being organized right now and will be scheduled within the next month. Additional anti-oppression training is planned for all other employees, and the WFPS has hired 2 consulting firms to assist with a workplace cultural assessment aimed at getting honest feedback from employees about their experience working at WFPS.
The investigator reached out to the patient for the report, but the city has not yet reached out to her in regards to this incident. Daryl Stranger, APTN National News, Winnipeg.